part of that branding is the fact that we just don't have any other options a lot of the time. We're out here, we're rappers. We out here shaking our butts, and we're being half dressed because we have to make the bread. You know what I'm saying?
Who do that?
And even if you do that mean you less worthy of being protected? Even if you
I
do
didn't
that,
say nothing about
I'm
protection.
I'm asking,
Okay,
like, what is the like, what does it matter what the branding is? Does that, I mean, what I took from what you said was more around like society needs to see us a certain way for certain things to happen how we want it. Bullshit. Like,
right. So when I'm talking about branding, I'm not speaking exclusively to outside the community. I mean, like, to ourselves, like in the community. Like, I understand that other people they gonna think what they gonna think. You can argue them down with facts, but I'm saying, like, in our community, the way that we brand ourselves, like you said, every young boy want to be a gangster. Why? That's what's marketed to him.
Yeah.
Like, in order for you to feel like, in order for a young boy to feel like he's closer to being a man, you're going to take the gangster route because that's what you know, because that's what's marketed to you. In order for a young girl to feel like she's a woman, she has to be sexualized because that's what's marketed to them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
Where you getting this from? Where you getting this from?
Solutions. This is the hard part. What can the black community do to preserve the security and sanity of the women and girls?
too much.
What you talking? Hold on. You just messed up. Talking too much.
Yeah, I feel like we just gotta be there for each other. I feel like we just gotta I feel like so honestly, like 1,000 billion million%, men gotta be okay with balance. Like, at the end of the day, from my perspective, a lot of what's keeping black women and black men apart right now is just the dynamic where black women are able to reach success at a different level and sooner than black men, and that is affecting the egos of black men and pushing us away even further. And I feel like I don't see as many black women walking around with a chip on their shoulder that, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, so I can't associate with you. But I see a lot of black men that have that mentality when they make it. Yeah. But then when black women are reaching out to even the people that are below them, there's like this ego, and there's like this, like, you hear the story, or like, just this ignorance. Like, you hear the stories about the men driving their girl's car around while she at work, and just like the blatant disrespect. Like, it's like, to me, it's just like, I feel like if we could just get past that, like, idea that black women are harming the community some sort of way by having success, then I think we would be better.
My God, don't get me started on that. That's like one of the weakest arguments I ever see brothers be making in these YouTube spaces, that with women overachieving in education and becoming breadwinners, and like all these successes that they're bringing into the community, that's somehow affecting black culture and black men in any negative way whatsoever. Like, it is in my opinion, right, that it is in my opinion that even though we can say that the traditional nuclear family is the way to go in America, or whatever like that, that women like the idea of staying home and taking care of the kids, and men go out there working 60 hours a week and all that stuff, whatever. The fact of the matter is, with black people being Umar Johnson, I don't know how y'all feel about Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson said black people, or the black community, holds 0.5% in wealth in America. We need everybody bringing home some bacon. You feel me? Preferably turkey bacon. We need, like, everybody, all hands on deck. And then for the gentleman, hey, pick up the broom. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, like, don't let that woman do all this work at the job. Do a 9 to 5 and come home and shit need to be swept, and the baby's diapers need to be changed. Yo, pick up a broom and do your job too. You feel me? Like, we had to be doing this together now, right? So like I said, for all these gentlemen out here on YouTube is talking about women got to be more feminine. No, our women are already feminine. Our women and don't complain about women being masculine because there's no choice for these women. Like I think black women are like I think what was the stat? I would say one out of every 4 women are being proposed to or getting married and stuff like that, which is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if men gonna sit here and indict women of all these things, we have to hold ourselves accountable for the things for the failures that we are enacting upon the black women also. So again, appreciate these women for what they contribute, especially monetarily.
As far as sanity, I would say the black unity. As far as security, we got a lot of work to do because it's not as simple as people want to make it seem. There are a lot of things at play contributing to the situations that we're dealing with. Branding in the black community, which is the culture.
Branding as far as labeling, or what do you mean by branding?
No, I mean branding as far as marketing.
Marketing,
like how we sell ourselves.
Okay. And the crazy part about that is, sorry to cut you off, but like part of that branding is the fact that we just don't have any other options a lot of the time. We're out here, we're rappers. We out here shaking our butts, and we're being half dressed because we have to make the bread. You know what I'm saying?
Who do that?
And even if you do that mean you less worthy of being protected? Even if you
I didn't say nothing about protection.
I'm asking,
like,
what is the like, what does it matter what the branding is? Is that, I mean, what I took from what you said was more around like society needs to see us a certain way for certain things to happen how we want it. Bullshit. Like at the end of the day, regardless if I'm shaking my behind or I'm at church or I'm at work, I still deserve to be protected. Regardless of what we're doing, regardless if we're rapping or anything else, we shouldn't be getting gunned down. Like I take issue with the idea that black people have to be a monolith in order to get the things that we deserve in society.
So I wasn't saying that we needed to be a monolith. I do disagree with like the way that you present yourself affects how people value you.
It shouldn't. I'm not saying it doesn't.
But it does.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm saying it shouldn't.
But
and at the end of the day, you lose out. From my perspective, you lose out by making snap judgments about people based on what they present to you.
I mean, but it's natural to be.
Yeah, heuristics are natural. But at the end of the day, that shouldn't go back to how people are protected. That shouldn't go back to like the systems that we're talking about. A person shaking their behind should be just as safe from early childbirth, like early death from childbirth, as anybody else. A person that is at church should be just as protected from walking down the street and not getting gunned down as anybody else. It doesn't, like, their branding doesn't matter to keeping them safe. And I feel like that's part of what we need to change. Like this idea that, oh, because you see black people as dangerous, or because you see black people as ratchet, they not deserving of you cleaning up their streets. I don't care how you see these communities. You need to put the resources into it.
Right. So when I'm talking about branding, I'm not speaking exclusively to outside the community. I mean, like, to ourselves, like in the community. Like, I understand that other people they gonna think what they gonna think. You can argue them down with facts, but I'm saying, like, in our community, the way that we brand ourselves, like you said, every young boy want to be a gangster. Why? That's what's marketed to him.
Yeah.
Like, in order for a young boy to feel like he's closer to being a man, you're going to take the gangster route because that's what you know, because that's what's marketed to you. In order for a young girl to feel like she's a woman, she has to be sexualized because that's what's marketed to them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
Where you getting this from?
Yeah,
where you getting this from?
Where am I getting what from?
What you just said.
What you're saying.
Life.
Yeah,
that's not my life.
That wasn't my life either.
Okay.
We had the Claire Huxtables and everything else,
right.
And like it's not even.
That's not even that. I can't tell you that there's nobody's life that I know.
Yeah. Even like rappers, like there are there are people on both ends of the spectrum. From my perspective, it's never been about the marketing. It's been about opportunities. Like the reason why the young boys out here picking up guns is because it's quicker and easier to make money picking up a gun than it is to go, like, literally these boys are out here like, hey, I'll give you this gun, go drop a body for $150, because that is the easiest and quickest way for them to make $150. Like that, and that's because there are no opportunities for real legitimate successful jobs in these communities.
That's true.
It's not just an issue of marketing, because at the end of the day, like there's plenty of television out here. There's plenty of things in the media and everything else showing us, like, we just had a black president. Let them tell it. That was supposed to solve all the problems. That's like marketing. I'm not gonna say like we can't do more to show more to our youth. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not suggesting that we shouldn't do more. I definitely believe you lead by example, and like the best thing we can do once we get successful is to stay in the community.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we can't pretend that it's just like, oh, I saw Obama today, so I'm gonna go and do the right thing. Because what does it look like when I go try to do the right thing? Like, my mama need money right now. I'm 13. I can't go get a job because I can't work this early. Her job is paying her minimum wage, so now I have to figure out how to take care of her too. Or my mom put me out because she can't have all of us in the crib, or whatever else it is. That's the problem, is that these communities are unstable, not just that they don't know how to act.
Oh yeah, okay. I want to say that wasn't exactly what you meant by like the marketing and like the self like branding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I do understand that y'all ladies, this is not y'all realities, obviously, but what he's speaking to was something that we do see on TV. You know what I mean? We do see, even though, and I do understand this stuff can be pushed in our directions purposefully. You know what I'm saying? But we like, what's that girl name? Suki. What's her name? Yeah, Suki.
Sukiano.
You don't even know her name, so how prevalent could it be?
I'm a boomer, so I'm just I'm always out the mix. You feel me?
Same.
But at the same time, you still is for a lot of people. You're right. It's not prevalent to our lives whatsoever. But at the same time, a young impressionable minds, they do follow these types of. A lot of them, not all of them. Obviously, not all of them follow these types of people. You know what I'm saying? And black people, and the gentlemen. You know, we are very prone to that type of lifestyle also. We see it all the freaking time. But I mean, am I getting what you saying wrong, really?
Nah, you're not getting it wrong. But it's just, you can't. So that's what I'm saying. You said we grew up with the Claire Huxtables and everything, but everybody didn't grow up with the Huxtables. You know what I'm saying? Some of our young black girls are growing up with the Kardashians. Some of our young black boys are growing up with Young Boy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the Kardashians not black though. So if we're talking about branding, but I'm saying if we're talking about branding, I just don't understand. He said, what can the black community do to improve? And at the end of the day, like, rappers are rapping about their reality. I'm not gonna ever censor their art because
and sometimes
it's affecting the kids. Sometimes they not, but I'm not gonna censor their art because it's affecting the kids. I'm gonna talk to the parents and say, hey, maybe you should cut on some Gracie's Corner instead of the NBA YoungBoy or whatever. Like right. It's not just the issue of what's out there in the media, because we have control over that as a community, and like we shouldn't be attacking artists like Suki. I laugh at her; she's funny to me. Like that's not my daughter won't see it. And even if she does see it, she'll laugh at it too. It'll be funny to her. It won't be a lifestyle for her.
I think you're just a smart person. You know what I mean? And you're smart enough not to do something like that.
So are you saying that most women aren't smart?
And
I didn't say. I'm talking about.
And are you saying that unintelligent people don't know how to parent? Because everybody's not going to be intelligent, but like parenting is going to be. You have to make choices as a parent. You have to make choices as a parent, and like everybody knows
smart choices as a parent too, right?
And you have to be careful, particularly with social media and everything else. So like, it doesn't matter how much we say, rappers aren't going anywhere. True. Strippers aren't going anywhere.
Wait, well, hold on. Now we can change, because this is what we're talking about, right? We're talking about this branding. We can change what these rappers are saying, because we can choose.
Changing what they saying is not changing that they're a rapper.
But even if
we can't change what
they saying, because they have the First
I'm talking about the message we're talking about. Like, they can be a rapper.
We can't change it. That's my point. We can't change it. Like, yes, artists can come out and decide to change, right? Like, that's fine. But there are always going to be ignorant rappers out there. True. Just like there are the blade cutting people on the white people's side, right?
True.
Like they have these things. These things exist, right? Like the issue isn't that they exist. The issue is how we're letting it impact us.
Yep.
So having more parenting classes, having, like
Yeah,
I
there you
said,
go.
professionals come back into the community and say, like, this is attainable to you.
Yeah.
This isn't like, because part of the issue right now is the narrative that, like, when you get some sort of success, you bounce. And that's what we do.
That's
we bounce.
Yeah, that's
and
horrible.
so at the end of the day, what are we leaving in these communities? It's not fair to say, like, oh, you're smart, that's so your kids are going to be different. No, I'm smart, so I'm gonna go back into the communities and go encourage them to do the same thing I did.
And what's crazy is you see what happens to our smart people, our gifted, our high earning people. They go off into these other communities, right? And then that wealth that they accrue is being spread out and bounced within those communities,
and not back into the
but
community
not-
that they came from.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
but I don't think we can, like, at the end of the day, whatever negative influences that are out there, they're out there. We have to figure out how to keep it from the youth. And that's not going to just be an issue of marketing or branding or media, or like social media is going to be out there. They can figure out how to get to it. We have to figure out how to like how to get them to understand that this isn't the life that you, and even if it is the life that you go down, you don't shoot people at the same time, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it can't just be an issue of controlling what they see, because you're never going to be able to control that. You're never going to be able to control what they see. You're never going to be able to stop people from speaking on either, like, you know, if we talking about Dirk, if we talking about what's the boy name who died,
Juice
Vine. Yeah, if we talking about King Vine, that was their reality. So who are we to come out and say, hey, don't get rich off your reality? That's effed up. That's effed up. And at the end of the day, as many of these kids that see Young Vine, that see King Vine, or that see Dirk, or see whoever, they see LeBron. They see other successful men that aren't going that route.
True.
And they hear these things. So it's not an issue of what they see. It's the issue of, like, and LeBron came from these communities too. It's not an issue of what they see. It's what they have access to. It's what they have the opportunities to get. So it's not like, it's not just, I don't think it's as simple as trying to, like, attack the rappers. I don't like that narrative. I think it's more divisive than anything. I think we need to go back and we need to teach people in our communities and stop pretending that, like, they have all the answers, that they have all the access, and they just choosing to make dumb choices.
So when I was talking about Brandon, I was speaking more so of, like, what you saying is knowing that there are other avenues. I was a less fortunate youth.
All right.
At one point in an at-risk neighborhood. But it was people around that showed me, like, bro, you don't have to kill somebody for $100.
Yeah.
You can cut grass. You can take the trash out. You know what I'm saying? You can do carpentry, things like that. But that's only because I saw people being successful at that. So you can't be like, yo, don't sell drugs, go work at Walmart. And who do you know who's worked at Walmart who's not still working at Walmart? You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to show the youth a way to be successful that's attractive to them. Like, show them, like, bro, you can sell food on a food truck and you can own 6 trucks, make 6 figures, you know what I'm saying? But they have to see it to where it's actually attractive to go that route, because we have a lot of exceptional youth in these at-risk communities. And they just don't have no guidance. They don't have no direction. They don't have a North Star.
Yeah.
I like those words way better than branding. I love it.
But that's all branding, though.
I don't, branding just sounds so just generalized to me. You know what I mean? When we think about the word branding, as we say, what can the Black community do? It just seems, like I said, like it goes back to that idea of a monolith. But I totally agree with the idea of, like, guidance, direction, just like showing people, and I don't even know if it has to be attractive to them, but just showing people that there are other avenues, that there are other ways, other than doing it one way.
The biggest problem I have with the main reason I brought it up is regarding the rapping and all that stuff, and even like I'll put it this way, like the OnlyFans type stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like pimping. You know what I'm saying? Because the people at the top of those markets are guess who? You know what I'm saying?
Who am I to say that somebody thick as ever can't go make money off that? From my perspective, you can't make people do what you want to do. You can't say people only worthy of excellence because they doing it the way you want to do it.
Well,
I don't condone it. I don't do it myself, but that doesn't mean that I knock another person for doing it.
Yeah,
That's my
well, you
perspective.
know, and this is not an indictment on the people. I'm trying not to make maybe this is sounding like an indictment on the people that participate, but like as I said, I'm just be aware that who's making the real money off of our bodies, and I'm not just talking about your naked bodies. I'm talking about the actions you're partaking in that's actually influencing the culture, right?
But isn't that every job?
It's definitely I mean,
Who's really making the money off this? Who's really making the money off when I get up and go to work every day? It ain't me. I'm making a tiny portion of that. We all getting pimped at the end of the day. It's just they just decided to do it the way they want to do it.
I'll give you that. So what I gathered was knowledge is wealth. The generational curses won't get broken until we open our mouths and point out the real enemies outside and within our groups. Not so much in generalizations without the proper adjective, as that will lump real allies in with the enemy and complicate the union. We have to exercise good faith conversations and empathize with each other at all times, and perhaps even sympathize when it feels right. That's what we need to do for these black women. Any closing statements from anybody? All right, there you go.
Boy.
I mean, I wanted to say, I just wanted to give her the opportunity first.
Okay, y'all, you ladies first. Okay, yeah, gentlemen, my bad. Joe, you got something
Oh, no,
closing?
go ahead.
Oh, yeah, okay, she cool.
Yeah, like I said, she said it as simple as it could be said. Are we better together?
Oh, ultimately, the first light at the end of the tunnel in all of our lives came from between the hips of a black woman. Black women, protect your temple. Black men, let go of your anger and stand guard of the mothers of humanity.